Adam Gigli, the one and only UFC Cutman.
Well, I started off when I was actually boxing myself. I was working down in London on the Olympics. But I didn't.
2012?
Yeah.
Right.
So I was there obviously like 5 years prior to that,
Okay.
doing some building work as an apprentice. So I was trained down at the Peacock Gym in Canning Town,
Okay.
training myself with a professional trainer there, who had journeyman. So I've been in and out of the gyms since I was a young kid anyway, with my dad. So I was doing my own bit, and then I started going to shows with the trainer Oscar, a Lithuanian guy, very good amateur, turned professional. Started doing this journeyman thing. So going to the shows with him, but I could never work the corner because I didn't have my license. And then he had.
When you say license, you mean the British?
Yeah, my British Boxing Board of Control license.
Yeah.
So I was always going to the shows with him at weekends, just sort of helping out as and when I could.
Uh-huh.
And then he was getting more and more journeymen sort of coming under his roster and that. And he said, well, why don't you get your licence and start helping me out? So I did, and that's where it all went from, really. And it just escalated from there. Yeah, done a couple over the years, a handful, before sort of shows we went to.
Right.
Yeah,
I remember you were doing that for a while.
Yeah.
Why in particular hand wraps? Was it something you seen when you were attending events? You seen coaches putting hand wraps on, you thought, well, you know what, I could do better than that.
You know what?
Or maybe not.
I'm not 100% sure what it was that triggered it.
Yeah.
It's just something that I suppose I practiced.
Yeah.
And became quite good at it naturally, and then I just from there I suppose I just worked and thought, oh, how can I make it better? And I found like you said, a real passion for it.
Right.
And it all kicked off from there. I mean, what actually triggered it, I can't honestly remember. Majority travelling, you know how it is, travelling around the UK or wherever, for next to nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So I've done my apprenticeship, as we all have done. And then, excuse me, from there, once you started going around the circuit doing the small hall stuff, then yourself have got to get the call here, you get a call there for a little break, from somebody like the bigger shows like your Bammers, your Cage Warriors and things like that. So just worked my way up, steadily, and then eventually got an email from the UFC, and that was, I think, back in 2012 now.
So what's your best days?
I reckon they're still happening, Joe.
That's a great answer.
I'm travelling around. I've been to countries that I would never even dream of seeing if I wasn't with the UFC. And I'm getting paid for it as well. So I know, obviously, the time away from the family, you miss your family when you're away. But
you got engaged recently.
I did.
Whoopa, Irish girl, good choice. Wouldn't be biased.
So that was all good. But the best days are still happening, mate. Still travelling the world, getting paid for
Fantastic answer.
Fantastic.
Anything that sticks out in your mind though? Any night that was a real success for you, and you just walked away and thought, you know what, I contributed to a good night tonight.
I mean, there's been so many over the years in MMA.
Yeah.
You know yourself if you've got a fighter there who gets a really bad cut.
Yeah.
And then you manage to get them through the fight, and you think, oh yeah, well, I earned my money that night. You're proud of yourself, give yourself a little pat on the back. But I've had many nights in boxing as well, working with many world champions and that over the years. And when you do see them win the fight, and you think you do get a good sense of pride. But I wouldn't say there's one in particular that sticks out for me, not at the minute.
Okay. So if the best days are still happening, then what have been the worst days?
The worst days.
Any professional that does the job with a conscience, when you do the job, other people may not pick up on it, but there may be times where you make small mistakes that you know about, and you walk away and go, what was I thinking?
Yeah, of course.
Right.
I do that occasionally even now. We're only human, aren't we? So.
And you're the hardest critic by far than anybody else is yourself. Is there any one in particular? Don't name names by any chance. Don't want you to name names.
What, from my own personal experience, you mean?
Yeah.
Again, there's nothing that jumps out at me.
Right.
You know, but I'm sure other people would let me know. You know, but
or maybe not.
Yeah, or maybe not. But no, I mean, over the years, I mean, we all make mistakes now.
Yeah.
You know, we're all human, but we just try and do it to the best of our ability. But I wouldn't say, I mean, yeah, you get the odd fight or the odd hand wrap where you walk away and you think, you know, but more particularly MMA than boxing, you put a wrap on for a fighter, they asked you, you know, to cut it about and this and that, and then by the time you've walked away, you think, what on earth is that? You know. Yeah, I mean, over the years, I mean, if you work with a fighter, I think I might have had it once where a fighter's threw a punch wrong and they've actually broke their hand, and I take it very, very personally then. But at the end of the day, it's, you know, a human hand is not meant for hitting something as hard as human heads, is it? So if they do land wrong, ultimately, no matter how good your wrap is, you know, injuries can still happen, can't they? But
you, in your pastime, you like to walk with sheepdogs, correct?
I do. You know, I've always been from the countryside. Always, you know, it was only, I'd done about 5 years work, I would say, on the Olympics and that, but I always went home the weekends, so I always classed myself as a country boy, you know, always. Love getting back to the country, and it wasn't until, I used to look after a friend of mine, his border collie, when he went away for weekends, and that's where I got the real bug, and eventually I ended up getting a pup of my own, and she's coming up to 2 now.
So what type of dog?
Border collie.
Right.
Yeah. So ever since she was 8 weeks old, you know, I've been doing bits with her, and then she got to about 6 months, and then ever since then she's been sheepdog training. So she's now ready for a couple of months off. Then she'll be entering her first sheepdog trial.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so how many herds does she have to? You know, put in a pen or whatever it is. I don't know the proper term.
Yeah, I mean, she, excuse me. I mean, she just, at the moment, she trains with about 5 or 6 sheep. So it'll just be like
Is that standard then for competition?
Yeah.
Right. And how far, I mean, the sheep are let out of the pen or they're loose in the field?
Yeah, they are, yeah.
Okay. And then your job is to get the sheep into the pen and
through
possible.
Through a course, yeah. So you got to go through different pens and things
right,
like
okay.
That. Yeah.
That's interesting. And so again, how did you? I mean, your passion through your own dog, and then you get into it.
Of course, yeah.
And so now you're going to compete in competition. Amazing.
That's the plan, mate. Yeah. And she's lovely.
Why?
And it's brilliant. You know, coming away, you're doing things like this.
Yeah.
In the hustle and bustle of some of these cities we're working at. You know, I love getting home on a Sunday afternoon, Sunday morning, take her out into the field, do a bit of training, you know, nice and quiet, just me and the dog, and then in the afternoon, take her down the pub and socialise her. Reward her for a good day, a good morning's training.
Do you know something that's like yin and yang? Because you were saying when you finished the boxing gig, you actually went to, you went back and spent some time with the dogs.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, because you were flat out doing boxing, and then you went. So for you, it's like balance. It just fills the soul, kind of thing.
Definitely. That's bliss, mate. You know.
Yeah.
You know, it's just to get away. You know, you had a busy weekend with your shows and things like this, and you can't beat it. Going up into the hills, into the fields, just you and the dogs.
Yeah.
You know, nice, peace and quiet.
Amazing.
Bliss, mate.
So, if you were given any advice to anybody coming into the game today?
I mean, for me personally, I'm quite a laid back sort of fella. I mean, so if I was to give any advice, I'd say just keep your head down, work hard. You know, as I've always said, you know, work hard in silence. Mm-hmm. Let your own success be your voice. You know, so yeah, keep your head down, keep learning, watch different people, you know, do your apprenticeship, you know, wrap as many hands as you can in and out of the gym, as many amateur shows, and if you have to go around and doing work for free to start with to get that experience, then so be it. But yeah, no, keep your head down, work hard, and then you know, the work. I mean, your work will talk for itself.